none of that. Those things come easily, brethren. The material, the host, the girls, the women, whatever you call it. All of that is going to come easily once you start putting some great work. See, that's the mistake with enough of these, Johnny and these Gene come lately don't understand. And if them struggle for 3 years, there goes the moon.
Hello and welcome to Stargazing, a show that brings you up close and personal with your favorite stars of reggae and dancehall music, Jamaican popular culture and people who've impacted society in a very big way. I'm Shaun Cain. In this edition of the show, we'll speak with international singer and producer Ed Robinson. Let's take a look. Ed Robinson is a true stalwart of Jamaica's musical culture. He entered the music business more than 4 decades ago, and so far he has recorded more than 200 songs that were released on 12 albums. The dreadlocked singer, who now resides in the United States of America, records much about his humble beginnings in the St. John's Road community in Jamaica. St. John's Road links Jamaica's former capital, Spanish Town, to the hilly interiors of St. Catherine. Ed has shared with the Stargazing with Shaun Cain Show that his parents were musicians. He explains that his mother was a vocalist and his father played the guitar. The Knocking on Heaven's Door singer mused that, with a childhood nestled in music, it was difficult for him not to show an interest in this art form. He says music stimulated his mind from a very young age and made him think of different ways that he could use it to bring humanity closer. He originally started out as a drummer in a school band. This skill has helped him well into his professional career, as he spent many years singing on Jamaica's north coast. But while he was thrilling the hearts of visitors to the island, he was always looking for his big break. After spending several years singing for the island's tourists, he decided to start writing and recording songs that would inspire a global audience. It did not take very long before opportunity knocked. VP Records released his first album titled Once Again in 1992. Since then, Ed has not looked back. Once Again delivered the popular Knocking on Heaven's Door, a remake of the Bob Dylan penned smash hit. Ed signed to MCA Records in the 1990s but did not release any works on the international label. After spending 4 years tied to a contract with MCA, the singer walked away to steer his career in the direction in which he felt it should be moving. Several records followed in his new direction, including Ain't That Loving You, Sky's the Limit, Solitude, and No More, Mr. Lonely. His 2011 Written in Stone album produced several notable tracks, including Our Heroes, If I Follow My Heart, and Talking Blues. Even after 40 years of living his dream as a musician, Ed is getting ready to change gears once again and take his music even further. The singer wants his records to cross generational boundaries, as he says the themes that he dealt with then are still relevant today. Ed Robinson, walk once up.
What day I'm a king? What day I'm on?
All good, all good.
Yes, sir.
All right, all good. But the man look forever young, sir.
Ah, Jesus.
Well, you know what? What can we say? But you know what, Ed? Longevity seems to be a word that you define in terms of the music industry. You've been around for quite a few years and you're still going strong, still making music. I mean, what do you attribute that to?
A stress-free lifestyle, a stress-free business. Because I mean, everybody in the world know, everybody in the music industry know that this industry will stress you out to the point of no return. You know what I'm saying? So just have fun with it, my brother. Just have fun with it. Whatever it brings, have fun with it. When it brings the negative, have fun with the negative. When it brings the positive, have even more fun with the positive. You know, go.
But it seems like the dancehall need a man like you know, because the dancehall miserable now, you know. All of you them miserable, everybody want to kill everybody. Everybody vex up and want them money and I go for them food and the dog them in the way and all them kind of things.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
It's not just dancehall. It's a overall generality, my brother. It's not just dancehall. dancehall probably just reflecting it on a national or international level, right? It go on the business. The minute from I entered this business 43 years ago, I've been seeing it. I've been experiencing it. I've been working with it. It's been going on, Bridget. You know what I mean? But we never know because the quote unquote 2 station that we have in Jamaica wasn't highlighting the foolishness. You know what I mean? There was even highlighting us, to be honest with you. Every time you listen to the radio or you watch their TV, you get more Dolly Parton and FR2, but Mel and them alongside, you know what I mean? Alongside Billy Joel and
Kenny Rogers and them people.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So we never really get there
wasn't a platform where you can have real time interaction. In terms of, I might just throw on something like a hurtful comment on social media, I might respond to that, and then you find there's a saga building up now, and then this one, to and fro, and all that kind of thing.
Exactly. Listen, I'm in a studio called Dynamic Sounds, probably 35 years ago, and watched 2 international superstars have a disagreement about a sound, a piano sound, and the man them take it outside and punch down each other, drop man in the fence, and we stand up out there look on it like, what the, you know what I mean? Just can you imagine there was a social media, you know, thing going on at that time? Because we're looking at him on the ground, but we don't have no camera for taking picture of it, Bridget.
It couldn't go viral.
Exactly. We're talking about 2 international superstars. I mean, a lot of the people in the industry know who it is. You know what I'm saying?
I know you're going to tell us too.
Hell no. We're not going to put the big man, because the man is still alive, you know, so we're not going to put the big man on Front Street like that. Him probably sitting there laughing right now. Him probably come tell you who him was, who knocked him out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Ed, while we're on that point, your journey, though, has been a really long and dedicated road, and that has led you to many different places. So what would you consider to be the high water mark of your career so far? What's the pinnacle of it?
The night when I met the crown prince of American music, the virgin called Prince. That's my pinnacle. That's my high. Because nothing in this business fazed me. Nothing. I've been around the best of them, and I've been around the worst of them. The night when I met Prince, when I sit with him, and after all the rules that they give to me, not to do, not to touch him, not to reach out and shake him hand, everything that his road people tell me, because they was on the road, everything that they tell me not to, because he's my favorite artist of all times. You know, right after Prince come Dennis Brown. You know, right after Dennis Brown come Alton Ellis. Right? So put it this way, Prince has been the bar for me in terms of that's a hurdle that I try to jump all of my life. You know what I mean? I wanna do things, you know, I wanna learn instruments, you know, learn every instrument, because he played everything. You know what I mean? And I try to play everything, all the instrument that I can, you know, possibly learn. So Prince has been my threshold, you know what I mean? So that's where
So when you met Prince, tell me about that meeting. How did it happen, and what did you talk about?
All right. Well, at that time, I was supposed to be signing to the same record company he was with, you know, which was
Is that MCA?
the Warner Brothers. Huh?
Warner. Oh, I thought it was MCA. Warner.
No, I was signed to MCA before that. But at this point, I wasn't signed to Warner Brothers. I was getting ready to go sign with them like the next week. Right? And he was in town doing a concert at a club called a Grand Slam. So I went over there with the A&R and the president of A&R and all them people from Warner Brothers, because I was out in LA getting ready to sign with Warner Brothers, you know? And I guess them never won a brother, you know what I mean? So put it this way. Put it this way. You know, the A&R, the president of the A&R, you know, said to me, you know, if I wanted to meet Prince, or whatever, you know. So I was like, what? So we went around there, set up the meeting. They set up the meeting, come back for me, and here comes a little guy trying to tell me, yo, do not, or do not, do not, do not. The only thing him tell me not to do, him never tell me not to do was take this nigga around the back and carry him to bed or something. You know what I mean? So put it this way, him tell me everything that I was not supposed to do, not one thing that I'm supposed to do. But you see, I don't think him realize that Prince is a Gemini. Geminis only show you the side of him that they want you to see. So it looked like all of his life around Prince show him one side, not the other side. You know, so put it this way.
So what side did Prince show you then?
When I went to this man, first of all, he was sitting down at a little, it was like the backstage area. Nice place. So we went in there and him just sit down. And once I walk in, he got up and put his hand out to me, and I'm looking at this dude like, see?
Should I?
No. I knew from day one, because I knew the dude vibe, I knew the dude personality, because he's a Gemini exactly like me. You know what I'm saying? So I know exactly who I was going to meet. I was going to meet a brethren who, once them tell you not to do something with him, go ahead and do it, because that's what they think. That's what he showed them. You know what I mean? So I just walk in there and reach out to him, my brethren. Once him put out him hand to me, I reach out to him. Him grab me and pull me towards him, and we embrace each other. How you doing, man? So we start talking. He's like, where you from? I'm like, Jamaica. Him say, yeah, I've been to Jamaica. He said, really? I said, where in Jamaica you been? Him say, I've been to Ochosria. So I started laughing. I said,
we don't call it that. We don't call it that.
It's not Ochos Rios, Bridget. It's Ocho Rios. As a matter of fact, just simply call it Ochi. So he keeps saying, all right.
Culture.
Exactly. So he keeps saying to me, yo, talk like that again. Talk like that again. Don't speak American language, right? Don't speak American thing. Just talk to me in Jamaican. I want to see if I pick it up. We was around there for like 15 minutes, just shooting the breeze, Bridget.
Wow.
Right? So when I said to him, you know, I'm getting ready to sign to Warner Brothers, you have any advice for me? He just bust out laughing and said, make sure you own your masters.
He's warning a brother. He's warning a brother.
He's warning a brother. So, you know what I mean? So put it this way. That was the highlight of my career, Bridget. You know what I mean? I didn't make $1 that night, right? I didn't make $1 from the experience. But put it this way, my brother. I come away with so much knowledge from that, Bridget. You know, that's one of the things that I'm putting into practice as we speak right now, Bridget.
So when the man left, how did you feel?
It kind of knocked me out of way. It knocked me out for about a month. But I understand it. It's life. People born, the dash is life, and people dead. The only two things that guarantee in anybody's life is the birth, the birth and the death. You know, you're gonna born, and once you're born, this life here is all yours. Live your life, Rasta. Don't let nobody tell you how to live this life. Don't let nobody dictate to how to live this life. But at the end of it, you are going to dead. You don't know when, you know, you ain't drown and get shot at, you know, our car run you over. You know, we don't know when, brother. So we don't really pay attention to death, or we don't pay attention to birth. We pay attention to life.
To life. You just try and enjoy the experience.
2x10 man, I move real fast, yeah? This is the boy Master Record, the girls them checker. You're watching the Stargazing Show with Shaun Cain. Up and personal. 2x10 man, I move real fast.
But you were talking about warned, brother. You know, you got warned about that. But how about MCA? No, you were signed to MCA as well. Were you warned?
Yeah, man.
So what was that like? That period of your life?
It was a great experience working with those people. It was a great experience. I've learned I've learned two things. I've learned that sometimes you really can't tell a person, you can't tell a company what to do with what you have, because they think they know it all, because they've done it with the Prince, they've done it with the big ones, you know. They don't understand that they cannot use the same oil that they use to cook Prince, to cook you. You know, because you're a different kind of meal, and they don't understand that. They never get that while I was there, because they try to assign producers to me, right, to do whatever they think I should be doing. Same thing with MCA Records. They assign producers to you for you to go in the studio and work with these producers. Now I listen to these producers' material. I listen to what they have done before, and that's not where my head was at.
So how did you get past that then? Because they assign these people, they're paying them probably millions to produce music with you, and then you're not those producers. So that must be a big area of conflict.
It's a big area, and it was a big issue for me, because
so what these
people think, you don't really get over it. Here's my way of avoiding it. It's something that you don't do and get over with, because this is the kind of material that will stuck with you for the rest of your life. You know, I'm not one of them kind of person that you can tell, you know, or you can bully into submitting to what your ideas are. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. You know what I mean? So put it this way. Nicely, I just wait out the deal. I just wait.
Did you not record anything? Did you not record anything? Did you not record?
No.
So wasn't the deal then, Ed? Wasn't it like a 2-album deal or 3-album deal? What was the deal?
No. As a matter of fact, it was a 3-year deal. Back them times, I don't know about the album project thing, but what my experience was, I signed for 3 years. So I guess they was gonna put out the album a year. If one don't work, the first one don't work, and the second one don't work, then they put out the third one. But you have what is called an optional year, which you have 1 year for you or the company to decide if you still want to do business together, right? So a 3-year deal worked out for me to be 4 years. So I just jump in on my truck, on my whatever I was driving at the time, don't remember, and just drive from Los Angeles to Las Vegas, and just go cool out. Nobody knew where I was until, you know, it started come over. We call it now MySpace or whatever. Nobody knew where I was. So I just ducked them. They thought I was back in Jamaica. No, I was in Las Vegas working. You know, I was over there playing drums in a band with
So you weren't making music then?
No, I was still recording. Recording, but because I have a studio in my house, you know, because that's one of my pet peeves in life is everywhere I go in life, anybody can tell you that know me, I always have a studio with me, you know, because I love studio equipment. So I'm like one of them kind of guy there where if I get $20, I spend $15 on equipment. The other $5 is just for pay rent and whatever else. You know what I mean? So my thing is, I always have a studio, no matter how big, no matter how small. I always have a studio in my bedroom or in the room next door or in a building down the street. I'm always gonna have a recording studio with me. That's one thing that anybody can tell you.
But Ed, when you took your sojourn, then if I may call it a sojourn, you disappeared. Then if I call it that, didn't you get any phone calls? Didn't get anyone trying to find out where you were? I mean, like the record company executives, but no music.
As a matter of fact,
you weren't making any records.
As a matter of fact, the record company gave me a car, right? Which I didn't find out that it was my car until the police pulled me over. Right? The record company gave me a cell phone, which when I found out what was really going on with all of that, I threw the phone out the car in the middle of the desert in a place named Death Valley. I dashed it away. So
you killed the phone.
Yeah, a place named Death Valley. I was driving from Los Angeles to California, but I do the back road thing just to a place with them called Area 51 or something like that. You must hear about that place, right? So that's where I just dash out the phone out of the car, Bridget.
So why did you not want the phone to be around you anymore? What did you find?
Because of the deceit. What what really happens is when you sign with a record company, they give you things and make you think it's yours. But I'm not one of them kind of. I don't hang over to the business side of music, and I don't hang with the industry side of music. I mostly hang with the musical side of
so you're creative.
That is
mainly creative.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. So I don't pay attention to the numbers or the business part of it. I know how much they're giving me. I know how much I got. I know the check that I'm getting. So basically for me, it's about that money that I get was going into buying the recording studio. Yeah, they gave me almost a little bit over $250,000.
The advance. That's the advance.
Right. They gave me that kind of money to buy my studio, right? And that money didn't even go in my pocket. The check was signed to the record store, the music store, right? So I went to the music store, get all my equipment, pack it up in a U-Haul truck, and we head to Las Vegas. Big up Pablo, big up Pablo CMC, But the truth is, when you get involved with things like that, I really don't pay attention to the business side. This is what the management was supposed to do. This is what the lawyers were supposed to do. And yes, I have me a top flight lawyer at the time. The lawyer that I had at the time was Puffy's lawyer, Prince's lawyer. She was just doing major league things. Big respect to Mama Denise, you know what I mean? But the truth is, they were supposed to be doing all that. But you have to remember now, I am probably a $250,000, not even $1 million artist yet, right? My contract wasn't up to them things, wasn't up to that level, right? When I signed to MCA Record, the contract was okay, but it wasn't $1 million contract, right? So put it this way, these people are dealing with artists that have a $10 million deal. They're not going to pay attention to you 5 days a week. They're paying attention to...
They're bigger fish to fry.
Exactly. Them are bigger swim around, brother, for frying my brother. So the truth is, I never really expect anything else from them. I was expecting to, all right, cool, they deal with my business and I do my music and I present it to, because remember this, once a company sign you, they heard your track record, they saw your performances, they know they have things. So I'm thinking, okay, these people like what they hear from me, and it's going to allow me to bring in my people, the Mikey Bennett, the Fattest them, all of these people them who was producing records, Mr. Ruel Thompson, all of these people that was producing me before, I could bring them back in now into this contract and say, come work with me. Make we get some big record out and blah, blah, blah. No, they want to change your old sound, to the barefoot boy on the beach with your jeans and your pretty shirt on and cater to their... It's like you're a little tourist artist now. You know what I mean? Which is not in my psychic. At them time, they might look for some big broad beard, dreadlocks reggae singer, because that was their thing, Back in them days, it was their thing where, they're not used to no top reggae artist that was a fly boy or a pretty boy fly. They're not into that. They're not used to that. You know what I'm saying? They're used to every reggae artist just miserable and bend up and vex like we come here to kill Babylon.
Them as Bounty Killer would say, them hungry.
Right, crass, hungry, and miserable. That's how they see the thing, right? Because when I was doing a photo shoot, the lady said to me, how come you're a reggae artist and you smile so much? I said, because I don't have no damn problem, lady. You know what I'm saying? Why do you smile so much in your pictures? I'm like, because I'm good, me happy, me all right.
Miserable.
Miserable. You know what I'm saying? So they don't understand. They don't understand the culture. They don't understand. They figure out what they see is what you get.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole thing. You know, the mentality of these people is what you see coming from Jamaica is what you get, and that is a problem even now. You know, it's like you see a guy with a big broad beard and him one bag of locks and him uncared for and him just look away, and you know you go wind up the window then no brother you come near me. It's an American mentality, you know.
The Robinson family from St. John's Road, what did they say when, especially mom and dad, when they realized that you're kind of moving towards the music now and maybe not another kind of career? Did they feel good about it? Did they support it?
Well, yeah, well, my mother support me because my mother is a singer. My father is a guitarist, you know what I mean? My father play guitar. That's why I pick up the music from. You know, the only issue I have with my father, every time I buy him a guitar, I want a better one, you know. It's like, yo, King, I'm giving you the best guitar that I know to give you it comfortable and everything. So
what was his favorite one then? Because everybody seemed to like the Gibson at that time, I would imagine. What was his favorite?
Oh, yeah, my father was a Gibson man, too.
I would imagine so. But he want another Gibson, a better Gibson, a better.
I want a different model, not the brand. I want a different model. You know, so that's basically it. My family, my parents never have a problem with it. And, you know, I don't think my siblings have a problem with it either.
But that's a very good, man, that you had that kind of support around you. But looking at the industry now, though, since those times when you started and those years at IMCA and, you know, when you got warned off the brother and all that kind of thing, the industry has really changed, to, you know, comparing those times to now. I mean, what would you consider to be some of the biggest transformations in the business? What's
industry?
What's coming?
Don't let nobody pull that wool over your eye, my brother.
Mm-hmm.
The industry has not changed. The industry of this business has not changed. Don't let nobody pull no wool over your eye.
But it's still full of
They just have my brethren, if that's what you want to call them. But guess what? They just add different layers to it now to keep you exactly where they was keeping you back in the days. It's just a different level of blacklisting you. That's it. Because whether we like it or not, no matter who you are in this business, you can be quietly canceled, quietly blacklisted, no matter who you are, right? The only issue with this blacklisting is a lot of people know, a lot of your brethren them know, but they don't want to say nothing because they don't want to come up to be the next one being blacklisted. You understand me? It took me about 25 years. And it's when that person get blacklisted, him come to me and tell me, so them brethren you never know, say that person did I do that. You know what I'm saying? So the truth is, that's the only issue that in this business that I have a problem with. I have an issue with.
So how do you deal with it? How do you deal with it?
If I tell you right now, my brethren, I'm probably going to have to deal with you the same way. You understand me? If I tell you right now, I'm going to have to deal with you the same way. You know, them have a saying in the mafia we say, if I tell you right now, I'm going to have to kill you.
Yeah, yes.
Put it this way.
Yeah, you get too much information. Yeah. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So the truth is, that's the only spot of this industry that I don't like. I actually borderline hate it, and I'm not a person that hates. I don't hate. I don't use that word. You know what I mean? But the truth is, I disgust those people that does that. You know, because it's not a good practice, brethren. When you cancel a person because you can't control them.
Yeah.
It's not a good practice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when people find out that you can't blame nobody if them physically hurt you. You cannot blame anybody. And you can't look on that person as if you're bound straight to hell. Because you just avoid my kids from going to some great schools. You just avoid my kid from becoming an astronaut because I couldn't afford to put her through astronaut school. You know what I'm saying? Because none of us, I don't know about any other artists. I don't push my kids to be in the music business. or the music industry. Put it that way. Because the music business is okay. You know, because it's two different things. You know, the music business is what deal with all of this, but the music industry is a lifestyle. You understand me? That's the problem. That's the issue with all this music thing. And a lot of these young youths coming up don't know how to deal with it because they think it's all fun and glory, and that's what's going to destroy.
Yeah, because all they see is the fancy car, the fancy clothes, and the glossy, the glossy picture.
Trust me. Let me tell you something. All of that can come easily. Your drug dealer friend can buy you a nice Benz. Forget about all of that foolishness. Your drug dealer virgin can buy you a nice Benz or give you one that he was driving before that you never know. As easy as that, and you give him an album. So don't worry about none of that. Those things come easily, brethren. The material, the host, the girls, the women, whatever you call it. All of that is going to come easily once you start putting some great work. See, that's the mistake when enough of these, you know, Johnny and these Gene come lately don't understand. And if them struggle for 3 years, there goes the moon.
2x10 man, I move real fast, yeah? This is the boy Master Record, the girls them checker. You're watching the Stargazing Show with Shaun Cain. Up and personal. 2x10 man, I move real fast.
People that wish you well, watch how good you're doing for yourself. Because if you're not taking care of yourself, if you're not doing good for yourself, nobody wants to deal with your brethren. We see it all the time. We see it over and over and over and over again. Why do you think a lot of top people don't want to deal with a lot of us? It's because we're not look about ourselves. We're not taking care of ourselves. If you're not taking care of your business, how are you going to take care of mine?
Now, be a bit more specific now. What do you mean when you say we're not taking care of ourselves?
We're not taking care of ourselves nowhere. We're not. You cannot be in a mechanic business and you can't look on a car and evaluate a car and say this car value a certain amount of money, right? How can you be in the recording industry business and you can't evaluate that your record is not $20,000 for your album, and you're going to give a certain little people your album and just collect a $5,000 and go and go your business? You don't know the value of your work, brethren. Then how you expect me to respect that? You think that if you are giving me your album for $5,000, I'm gonna say no, it value more. I'm gonna give you 500,000. What do I look like, a stupid person to you? I'll probably beat you down to 4,999.
Because you know what you're going to get out of it later on.
Thank you, my brethren. So if we don't value our work, brethren, we don't value what you don't value what you think it should have value, brethren. You know, I mean, there are times when your brethren want to do something and him send you a rhythm and you give it to him for either free or just say, yo, send me some cash. Because you help out your brethren for step up, for rise. You know what I mean? But when a company call you and say, yo, me like the song where you just dropped last year, but like the one you dropped just this year, put the album together and bring it come. And when you bring that album, come get that company and give $5,000 up front. Really, brethren?
To deal with the business side.
You have to.
I mean, how easy was it to find the right people? You must have you must have got ripped off a few times.
That is the problem. I wouldn't consider myself getting ripped off. No, nobody ripped me off. What happened to me is they didn't push it heavy enough to make me money, to make me real money. You know what I'm saying? So, because they don't know what they're doing. They will come to you and tell you that they're what they're doing is cool, you know, and they'll show you things that they put things on in front of you and say, all right, look, you're big, you're doing this, and this know you in that country. And the talk was, oh, you're big in Europe. You know, like, Negro, give me a break. You know, if you talk to every Jamaican artist, they're big in Europe. I don't want to hear that crap. I don't want to hear that. You know what I mean? So don't tell me about I'm big and show me proof that I'm big. When you show me a check that comes from wherever that says, this is where my selling is going, this is where my thing is big. Big in terms of fame or big in terms of gain.
Making money.
Exactly. I don't want to hear the fame thing, because fame is for suckers, brethren. You know what I mean? When you say, all right, the guy big in New York, had the biggest record in New York right now. Show me something that you can buy from that big fame. Show me something that you can buy from it. Yeah, popularity is cool. The more popular you get, it's probably the bigger money you get for a show.
Yes.
All of that.
More shows coming
all
in.
of that. Mm-hmm. We love all of that. But we're looking at 4 or 5 years past, and you still telling me I'm big? And you expect me to listen to that? You're fired, man. Get out of my face, bro.
Yeah, man. You see, you're a man of experience. You understand life. So you know that
exactly
fame thing and this hype and all that doesn't work for you. Give you some real stuff.
No.
And that
the truth is, when a manager have 7, 8, 9, 10 artists in the business, they can make money off a little bit of money. Everybody. They can make 200 here, 1,000 here, 5,000 here. They can make money off of everybody. So they're going to come out looking like the fat cat from all of these artists. And next thing you know, this artist find himself and catch all kind of foolishness and him have a disease where he have to go pay a doctor for cure. And you have to go fund him.
Mm-hmm.
While the artist live, the manager living good or the road manager per se living good.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
From the earnings from all 10 artists, is not one person she make that or he make that money from, but that person is making money from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is wrong with that. But make sure you take care of your thoroughbreds, them brother, because you can't have a stable of horses. Right? And it's only one a win race. But you make money off of every last one of them. Because remember, you know, we get money just to show up sometimes, you know. An artist get his what you call it, his salary just to show up, you know. You don't have to burn up the show, you know. You don't have to be the star boy at that show, you know. But you just get your money to show up because guess what? It's 10 of us in the camp. Nothing is wrong with that. Nothing is wrong with that. But remember, there's a star. Go back and check the history. Go back and check the numbers, brethren. Every camp have a star. You don't find 2 stars in any camp. 1 star them have. And the big man that. And him a headline all the show them. Always notice him is like the preacher in the church. Him drive the best car. Yeah, the other one them a drive good car too, but they always use their used cars. But the star always get the brand new car. Go back and check the history. History don't lie, brethren. You can't change history. You can't fabricate it enough. You understand me? You can lie about it. But the history don't lie. Go back and check it. People know for and people need for. You know the problem is with this industry and the business right now? We're memory too short, Rasta man. Or we don't know. Ignorance is no excuse, Rasta. The history is there. Go back, go check it.
You check it. But you see, people don't want to know the history. They just want to make some money and them get them some hype and some fame and all of that. That's what.
But that's
they like.
That's what is killing. That's what is killing us, brethren. I hear people talk about the Grammys and them disrespect every year. Like this time of year when we see the 5, what you call it, nominees?
The nominees, yes.
Every year when we see the 5 nominees, you ever hear 10 people, the 9 out of 10 people, you ever hear them say, wicked, great, everybody ever complain. Everybody ever complain about who should be in it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ask anybody who ever complain with the Grammys, if you ask them, let me ask you a question, Bridget. What is the Grammy criteria?
I don't know how many of these.
Not one of them.
No, not many people know this.
We are talking about 9 out of 10 people do not know the Grammy criteria, Bridget.
But when they don't get nominated, they have a problem with that?
I'm not talking about the artists, them.
Okay, right.
Sometimes the artists them don't say nothing. I talk about the lay guy on the street. Man,
okay, right. All right, I'm with you now. I thought you were talking about who.
Right now, I'm not talking about the artists. Enough artists know say them things not really up to that level. Eh?
Right. Them no
people think that right. People think the Grammy is a popularity contest. Yo, the artists are the biggest thing last year. See, other man should have win the Grammy. No, it's not a popularity contest, brethren. How much time you see artists that come out to the Grammy and never hear my album before?
True. Enough times. Let me put this to you. Recently, Spice has been getting a lot of bashing because she has agreed to perform on a show that is caters mainly to the LGBT society or fraternity, that group. What's your take on that? Should she have done that show, or
how is that affecting me? How is that affecting you?
Does not?
Not a conversation then.
Right.
How is that affecting reggae music?
Well, interesting one. Because
how is that affecting reggae music? No, that would be the conversation, my brother.
Because you know the image of the music. I don't know if that's a significant thing. Reggae generally.
No, don't make nobody fool you. It's not a music. It's not a genre thing. Nobody's looking at reggae as it's a. No. They're looking at the individuals. They're looking at the individual. It's an individual problem. There's some reggae artists. There's a lot of reggae artists that the world respect. Whether I don't care where you put yourself or where you think you are or what you become. I don't know how to style or something because that is like mechanics to me. I don't know nothing about carburetor and engine and car wheel. I just drive them.
2x10 man, I move real fast, yeah? This is the boy Master Record, the girls them checker. You're watching the Stargazing Show with Shaun Cain. Up and personal. 2x10 man, I move real fast.
And I tell you what, I didn't realize that the story was so deep, man. You know, it goes so far. There's so many layers to you.
We can do this all day, Bridget.
Yes, I realized that. So much experience, so much knowledge about the business. But I tell you what, I want to ask questions before I let you go from this book that I've written. It's called Reggae Larger Than Life, the ultimate reggae music fun and games book. It's kind of, the aim of it is to kind of take people into the backstory of reggae.
I need a copy of that book. I need a copy of that book. Yeah.
It's available on Amazon. It's available on Amazon.
I will go buy it today, brother.
Get a copy, man. Because I
will go support you today, brother.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Because it asks you who does what, where, when, how, and why to make reggae the genre it is today. So who had this hit song? Who produced that song? Who wrote this song? What was the highest charting position of this song? So people can understand a little bit more about where the music has been. Yeah, we just want to see how good well, we know you're good, sir. So we just want to put them across. I know you're going to blow these away anyway, but you know, I'll still do it. So the first one goes a little thing like this. It says, singer Trevor Roper fronted which Jamaican band for many years before departing this mortal coil at the beginning of 2013? The options are Top 5, Chalice, Unique Vision, and The Bare Essentials.
No, you sound like my dad States of high school now with them multiple choice question. Chalice, man, come on. Man.
All right, sir. All right, good. No problem, sir. All right, the man bad enough. So the next one goes a bit like this. So, Wear Your Size was a 1987 chart topper for which former school teacher turned dancehall entertainer? Lloyd Lovindale, Lieutenant Stitchie, General Trees, and Jimmy Cliff.
And it's not lieutenant, here's lieutenant.
You live in America, so you thought you're American.
It's Lieutenant Stitchie, man.
Lieutenant Stitchie. All right, you know,
I don't know that, man. If I find a whole of a Spanish town, man. All
right, I'll try one more. I know you're going to blow this away still, but because you seem to be enjoying it so much, I'll give you one as a bonus. Everybody get two, you know. Everybody get two, you know. You get three. All right, this one. There was a big ship sailing on the ocean around 35 years ago. The captain was a 12 tribes of Israel Rastafarian brother. What was his name? The options are Freddie McGregor, John Holt, Eddie Grant, and Half Pint.
Do me a favor. Cut out the multiple choice question. I As a matter of fact, I was just hanging with him like probably less than a week ago down by Inner Circle Studio. We have a networking conference, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's Mr. Mega himself, Mr. Freddie McGregor, brother. Come on.
All right. Let's stop it off.
Some hard ones.
All right, well, I'm trying then. This one said, who was the mastermind or the producer behind the construction of this very popular big ship, which made its maiden voyage in 1982? Who was the producer? You know, laugh again.
What? I didn't hear the question.
Oh, the question is, who was the mastermind, that is the producer, behind the construction of this very popular big ship, which made its maiden voyage, that means it was released in 1982?
Oh yeah, I know. I don't remember his name now. I know his name. It's not Freddie though. I know his name. I know the guy who produced it.
Right. So you want the multiple choice now then?
Shoot the multiple choice.
No. You'd have bashed them earlier. What you want them now?
Listen, I'm a reggae artist, all right?
Oh, you're backing down now.
No, I know exactly who, but I don't remember his name. Shoot them.
All right, let's toss a few out then. The options are George Pang, Stephen the Genius, Linval Thompson, and Augustus Clark.
No, Mr. Thompson, Mr. Linval. Yeah, man.
All right.
I know him name, but guess what? I was gonna say something, but I didn't want to put the bridge in like that, put him out there like that. But I guess people know. His son, who's a Montego Bay producer right now. Linval's son? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, man. That's how I know about Wagwana. You know, but I couldn't remember his name. That's why I almost said Shabdat. Because I know his son is a producer in Montego Bay, you know?
Right.
Yeah, man.
Right, man. Well, that's it for this edition of the show. Our special guest was Ed Robinson, international singer and music producer. And we had a really deep chat today. And, I've learned so much. And we just need more kind of thinking like this. And we will find the solution. Definitely.
There's a solution. We're going to find it.
We're going to find it. Well, Ed, it was really great.
Keep hope alive, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. It was really great, man. Well, that's it for this edition of the show. Our special guest was, as we said, international singer and producer Ed Robinson. As usually, please remember to subscribe, like, share, and also leave a comment so we know how we're doing. Until next time, this is Shaun Cain saying thanks for watching. See you soon.
Thank you for having me, Bridget. One love.
Blessings, sir.